You ever had that gut feeling you just couldn't shake? You know, that sudden, powerful sense of knowing something without really knowing how you know it? We call it intuition, and sometimes it feels like a secret superpower. Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on this mysterious force, and we're starting with a moment when a single gut feeling saved 155 lives. So picture this, January 15th, 2009. U.S. Airways Flight 1549 takes off from New York. Just moments later, bam, a flock of birds takes out both engines. Total power loss. In that split second, Captain Sully Sullenberger had an impossible choice to make. And his gut, his intuition, told him the only shot they had was the Hudson River. As he said later, there was literally no time to think about anything else.
3 minutes and 28 seconds. That's it. That is all the time they had from the moment the birds hit the engines to the moment that plane was floating on the water. Just think about that. An entire lifetime of training and experience, all compressed into one perfect decision made in a heartbeat.
So how does that happen? How do we do that? It's not magic, I promise you. It's actually a hidden system humming away inside your brain, a system you use every single day without even realizing it. The miracle on the Hudson is just an incredible, high-stakes example of something that is fundamental to all of us.
So here's the game plan. We're going to start by unpacking the science behind Sully's incredible call. Then, we'll dive into how our bodies actually create those gut feelings with a kind of built-in danger alarm. We'll also look at what happens when that alarm goes haywire. And this is the cool part, how you can actually retrain your brain to take back control. And to finish, we're going to explore a truly wild question. Could our intuition even get a glimpse of the future?
All right, so to really get how Sully made that split-second decision, we have to look at how our brains are wired. And it turns out, we're all basically running two different operating systems at the exact same time. There's a fast one and there's a slow one.
Okay, so system one, that's your gut. It's your brain's autopilot. It is lightning fast, totally automatic, and very emotional. It's always running in the background, matching new information to patterns from your past experiences. Then you've got system two. That's your conscious, analytical mind. It's slow, careful, and rational. It's that voice in your head that reasons things out, step by step. Now, most of our lives are actually run by system one, and system two only really gets called in when things get tricky or new.
So when Captain Sully was up there, faced with that impossible situation, he wasn't sitting there doing complex math problems with System 2. No way! His highly trained System 1 instantly scanned thousands of hours of flight experience, recognized a pattern it had never seen but was prepared for, and it delivered the only answer that made sense: land on the Hudson. It was a gut feeling, for sure, but it was a gut feeling forged by decades of expertise.
But what even is that gut feeling? What does it physically feel like? Let's zoom in a bit on the biology here, because the way your body's internal alarm system works is pretty amazing, and it often kicks in before you're even consciously aware that there's a threat.
You know when you walk into a room and you just instantly get a vibe, a good vibe, a bad vibe, that is your neuroception at work. It's a great word, right? It's basically your nervous system's built-in surveillance network. It's constantly scanning for little cues of safety or danger, the tone of a voice, someone's body language, the look in their eyes, all happening long before your conscious brain has had a chance to even think about it.
And the star of this whole subconscious show is a little part of the brain called the amygdala. Just think of it as your brain's ancient, supersensitive threat detector. It's so efficient that when it senses danger, it can hit a panic button that completely bypasses your slower, rational brain and sends distress signals straight to your body, kicking off that classic fight or flight response.
See, the amygdala sends out this cascade of signals all over the place. And these signals are what cause the actual physical sensations we call a gut feeling. Your heart starts racing. Your breathing gets shallow. Maybe you clench your jaw without realizing it. That whole body response is the feeling. It's not just in your gut. It's your entire body being put on high-low.
Now, this alarm system is an incredible survival tool. It's a lifesaver. But what happens when it gets a little too sensitive? What happens when it starts ringing the alarm when there's no fire? This is a huge shift in our understanding. We now know that things like chronic pain aren't always because of a physical injury. Sometimes the pain is just the brain's danger alarm, absolutely screaming that something is wrong even when there's no actual damage to your body. Your brain literally creates the experience of pain to try and protect you. And this is where things can get really tricky, because it can create this devastating feedback loop. The feeling of pain triggers fear.
which then tells your brain, hey, this danger must be real. That makes the alarm system even more sensitive, which in turn leads to, you guessed it, more pain. It becomes a vicious cycle.
This overactive alarm can also show up as something some experts call occult anxiety. This is where you might have chronic stomach issues, constant muscle tension, or just that persistent bad gut feeling, but you don't consciously feel worried or anxious at all. It's like your body is stuck on high alert, but your mind hasn't really called on to why.
Okay, I know that might sound a little bleak, but here is the good news. And it's really good news. This alarm system isn't set in stone. You can actually retrain it.
And this is all possible because of an amazing property of our brains called neuroplasticity. Your brain isn't this static, fixed organ. It's constantly changing, rewiring itself, and building new connections based on your experiences. This means the neural pathways that cause those false alarms can be weakened, and new, calmer pathways can be built and strengthened. A really powerful way to do this is with a technique called interoceptive inquiry. Fancy name, but it's really just about mindfully listening to your body's signals. So you bring to mind a stressful situation, and then you just focus your attention inward. What do you feel? Maybe it's a tightness in your chest or a knot in your stomach. Instead of fighting it or ignoring it, you just notice it. You name it without judgment. Ah, tightness. And then you consciously breathe into that sensation. You're sending a new message back to your brain. I hear the alarm, thanks, but right now, we're safe. By practicing this, you start to build a bridge between your fast, intuitive System 1 and your slow, analytical System 2. You start to develop what elite performers, like pilots, call deliberate calm. It's the amazing ability to feel that intuitive alarm bell go off, but then use your conscious mind to assess the situation and respond with intention, not just pure reaction. Okay, so we've seen how intuition works in the present moment by reading all these subconscious cues. But what if that scanning system could reach even further?
This is where things get really, really fascinating. A study found that our bodies can have a physical stress response, like your skin getting a little clammy, to threatening images that are flashed on a screen so quickly you don't even consciously see them. But here's the wild part. The strength of that unconscious physical reaction could actually help predict how upset a person would be by stressful events months in the future. It's almost as if the body knows something that the conscious mind doesn't. And this leads to a pretty profound question, right? If our bodies can react to information we haven't even consciously processed yet, is it possible they could be reacting to information that hasn't even happened yet?
Now, I have to say, this idea is way out there, on the very edge of science. There's a series of super controversial experiments that claim to have found small but statistically significant evidence that our bodies can physically react to a totally random event seconds before it actually occurs. Now, this is all heavily debated, of course, but it leaves us with this final, mind-bending thought. What are the true limits of our body's incredible ability to sense the world? And what if our gut feelings are picking up on far, far more than we ever thought was possible?